going to turn up my volume a little bit just to help it to be a little more better on the audio. All right, guys. Real quick before I jump into the full board thoughts and we really start checking in with Neo. Um, those in the pre-marketer mentor group, any questions on that? I know it's kind of a full unload. We're just finishing up on our pre-market radius, and then we'll jump on that. Uh, any thoughts on that, guys? You guys good? I mean, kind of an unload, but I had a lot I dealt with this weekend. So, all right, you guys are all good. Good deal. All right, all right. So let's jump in. It's interesting. So I'll tell you guys. Last night we traded in the mentor group, and yet again I'll give my hat off to old Neo here because when we were, where was it? It was right in here is where we did it. So we ended up right here is where we took most of our shorts for those that took those trades. It was a pretty good clear rejection, from the prior high, the kind of rounded structure, break of the low, retest there. It was all clockwork. But what I love is Neo did not sway from or build too deep of a bias from this drop. And when we were here pushing up, he kept saying, the market's very mixed right now. Although there was a bearish move, macro is arguably still bearish. I'm getting conflicting signals. And you guys have all seen how persistent he is. If he's like, I'm bearish, he's bearish. But uh he kept saying he was conflicted. So we didn't really take much the rest of the evening. And I kind of tried to push probe him to say, hey, we had a pretty deep drop. Like, is this just a corrective move or before we drop again? And he really wouldn't sway, man. He's stubborn. He was just like, it still looks mixed, could go either way. And I love that he did not get influenced too deeply from these polls, and then you can see we pushed. And so he did give a couple of critical levels that if we break, XYZ, we're going wherever, and we did that. And so he did a good job. And so those that are out there using Neo, whether you're TikTok or you're coming in here, really listen to what he says. Is ugh, I'm sure you are. I'm just gonna block that moron right away. But guys, also too, real fast, like Cody, Chuck, any of you guys, I think most of y'all are moderators, but feel free to block people that do stupid things like that. He was just like, I'll give this, I'm gonna pay this amount of money to the first people that join my like. I hate that stuff. But if you guys can help block, like, don't hesitate to block somebody. If somebody says some stupid shit, just block them, because that way I don't get as distracted here. But listen to what he says. He is not agreeable. If he is like, I'm bearish, and you're like, it's going bullish, it's still going up, and he's like, I get it, but I'm still bearish, and he will not sway, it's probably gonna drop at some point. And y'all saw that Friday. We kept climbing, and he's just like, I don't care. We're bearish, right? Yeah, I'm in radius. And he just did not sway. He's like, no. But if he says like it's mixed, right? And you're trying to push him to be like, I get it's mixed, but are we going up? Or are we going down? Are we going up? And he keeps going, well, it's mixed. I mean, if I had to choose, I would probably do this. That hesitation should warn you. I mean, it's hesitation for a reason. He's so good at calling those levels that hesitation should give you hesitation, right? And so listen to those words. The one thing I want to mention too is for anybody using him is he still doesn't have a crystal ball as good as he's been doing. He's not going to always call an exact top. Now Friday he called a pretty good top, but when he began to say that he's bearish based on the institutional stuff that's coming in, we still climbed a little bit. You still got to talk to him about structure, where's a good place to enter, what it looks like, all that. I have a few that I've talked to, through support and stuff that they take him like a buy sell signal where they say, hey, where are we going? Well, I see us coming down to this price and I'm kind of bearish. And then they go, sweet, I'm short. It's not a buy sell signal, guys. You want to talk to him, listen to him, right? I did a massive push uh, Saturday and Sunday of improving the user experience. Yeah, just stick around for a minute, and I'm gonna let him talk. I just want to kind of get through this. So I usually don't open TikTok or anything until 9:15, but I started opening it earlier because I like to explain what he does and how to interpret it as those that are doing the trial. Um, so that way we have enough time to do the TA. So 9:15 we'll jump into that part. So I did a very big overhaul update of not TA. I'm not touching this TA right now because he's been so good, but user experience. And so now he there's a few updates that you'll notice those that are doing the trial that are more user experience. So he was always very deep TA. Now he will analyze and understand your questions and how you're asking them to determine are you newer, more experienced, things like that. And he's got a mode you can see here. A few times he didn't even give levels, where it's more coach Neo. Good morning. No, 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 no. I'm not touching his trading. No, I focused only on user experience. So now he has the ability, and not only ability, but kind of the want to identify what you're doing, recognize the level of trading that you have, and determine does he have to ask follow-up questions. Does he need to be Coach Neo? Does he need to be, just like, hey, this person sounds like they know what they're doing. Let me just give levels, right? The other thing that I did, uh, I have to validate a little deeper. So those that are doing trials, let me know. He's going to be more accepting to other people's strategies because the fact of the matter is, you guys hear me say this all the time. There is a million ways to trade, and the right way is your way. That's it. Like I shared a video over the weekend because a guy did that I preached for years, and I agree with him. ICT works. The ICC works. CRT works. All this stuff works. It's just they work at different times, right? And so there's really nothing that's necessarily bad from a strategy perspective. It's just how you interpret the market and when to apply it that could be bad. So I don't want him. At times you may come in and say, "Hey, yep, just stand by." Neo's going to tell us that in a minute, guys. Just be patient. And so, um, Neo, before the weekend, if you said, "Hey, can you track XYZ?" because you have that as your model, your data, he would just come back, and if he doesn't track it, he'd say, "I don't track that," and that was it. Instead, now the coach Neo is going to flip and say, "Hey, that's a great model. This is why it works. I don't track that data, but if you've studied this and it lines up, to do a long or a short, you let me know, and I will take what you know and what I can see, and we'll use that to strengthen the validation." You see the difference in that. So that's kind of that addition that I did. So those that are doing the free trial, just let me know if you notice that. I'm just curious on that. So I'm not done. Guys, those that are following us with this journey with Neo and how good he's been, we're not done. Like, you know, I think no matter how good he gets, he could be better. Whether it's user experience, whether it's TA, like just be patient with that for sure. Again, Neo is on free trial, so if anybody wants to do a specific symbol or whatever you trade, you can go in and do the free trial and do it yourself. The uh For the morning session, we trade the Nasdaq. So the MNQ or NQ is I'm gonna have him on MNQ, but one and the same. And so you can follow along with that, or you can go in and get the free trial, and you can use them on whatever you want. I'm not likely to pivot to look to do reads because we will be actively trading. So for those that are hanging around. I'm gonna blow this up just a little more because I know it's harder for you guys to see at times on TikTok. When you're in there, you just choose your symbol. So if you want to trade, gold, you just GC, boom, now he'll be on gold. So if you guys have questions and I can answer it quickly, I'll try to answer it, but just please be patient because we're going to be live trading. So for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, this is Neo. He's our AI we created for our company. It's web based. If you want the free trial, you just go to nextstepalgo.com. Link is also in my bio. And uh, if you want to join in, let me refresh. You'll see a little green icon, open session. You guys can welcome to watch on TikTok, or you can come in here, hit start session, and it'll take you to the Google Meet, and that's free, so it doesn't cost anything to come in. So with that said, guys, let's jump in to see what Neo thinks as well as what I think of the day. So I'm gonna just kind of have him sit here for a second. These blue lines are what Neo gave us this morning. Um, he was saying it was very chopped, it's very mixed. He doesn't recommend forcing trades. However, 770 was his upper. If we break and expand above that, he at the time sees it being a deeper expansion north. Anything below that 770 due to this absorption news wick that we had, he expects to potentially sweep down to that 619. He was leaning a little more towards the break down to the 619 than the 770, but also was a little caution of, it's pre-market, right? But the data that he was looking at, it was kind of showing him that this was more corrective than explosive or continuation. So we'll have to see. Now, market open is going to change things. So, um, when it comes to one last little disclaimer or thought. When it comes to Neo, remember, he is extremely powerful on his calls for many reasons, but a lot of it is the institutional positioning data order flow that he gets. And so that institutional positioning on Sunday Asia or Asia at all is always going to be static because that pulls directly from options and things like that. So when the markets are closed, right, that data is static. Doesn't make it irrelevant, but it does change a little on how powerful he can be with his reads because he is interpreting what big money is doing, and those anomalies is what's making him so good. Now, if that data is not moving, it's still important, but it takes away that leg of his recognition of that anomaly, if that makes sense. And so, um, yeah, so just kind of go with that. So where we go with that, why I bring that up is we're gonna ask him quickly. We already kind of did his key levels, and that was the 770 619. The only institutional level that he called out was 296. It's a prior low. So he was saying, probability wise, if we break and lose these structures, it's a pretty good chance that we could get down there. He was saying if we break the 680 and hold it as rejection, 619 is a good quick target. If we break that, then it's a high probability we're getting down there. That was his read. Now, I'm going to ask him, like I always do, 5 minutes before open. Where would he send this price? What does he think? He has been so good with that. Now, um, when it comes to market open, I usually am going to give him a couple minutes into market open to gather that institutional data as it shifts, and then we'll ask him if we want to adjust levels. So any blue line you see on here, that's a level that Neo gave me. So, but my thoughts as far as overall market, let's just kind of address that quickly. We're in an interesting spot, guys. If you look at this deeply on the 1 hour, we have deep rejections up here with massive sell pressure, but we have massive reclaim pressure, both sides, right? Sell, reclaim, sell, reclaim, sell. We're trying to reclaim. It's for me. If I'm doing this without Neo, it's a little trickier because the reclaims are massive, telling you that even though we should be really bearish because of the way we broke and held below these lines and these structures, and we broke below these prior highs, like this is so bearish, right? Now it's a little more bullish at times than it should be if it's going to just full blown drop, if that makes sense. This is I'm on the MNQ1 exclamation Nasdaq, and so that's what makes it tricky, right? At the end of the day, the macro portion of this is now flipping, or this portion of that from the 1 hour is flipping into a potential bearish move. So we're getting the lower highs, we're getting lower lows, makes you kind of lean that way. So, but it is getting a little bit more reclaim than it should to give you some caution. So, both ways. Now, there's enough sweeps both ways that you probably could trade both ways if your volume is manageable. So, you guys know I love measured move styles. If you take this high and you come down to this low, we're fighting the 50% right now. So that makes it even trickier because, yeah, I mean, we'll see what Neo thinks, right? But I'm with you on that, right? Because it structure wise, we should be bearish, but it really depends because as we reclaim this, we're fighting that 50% of this move. Now, if you take the overall push from the actual high to that low, we have a little bit of room to go, which might, it's possible we could see a sweep up and then a pull. So we got to see how market open goes, but the lean would be more bearish until we break above that level, that 50%, which is likely where you kind of come up with that 758 level. Market open is going to tell us a lot, right? If market open sweeps north, I'm actually good with that. I would kind of prefer that because that sweep north on the fall, once we lose that kind of 758 again, that would open up the room for that deep pull back to the 296 to be more bearish, right? So that's just my take. I always give my take, even though Neo will come in and give his take as well. So in the morning, we were watching and kind of looking at this channel. We did have kind of a little bit of a channel. Again, this screams more bearish. Now, we did come up into the channel. However, we're starting to lose it. So could be easily a stop hunt of the channel and then a further drop. So again, I'm not gonna deeply push into what I would recommend long, short, all that because I'm gonna let Neo do that. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, just about Neo, the AI, all that, if you are interested in trading or you do trade, just stick around. You guys will see what he does. It's pretty awesome. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start Neo up here. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little pinned comment too.
Hey Nick, welcome aboard. We're currently watching the MNQ dance around the 29,700 level, and it's looking pretty choppy as we head into the open. Are you looking for quick scalps to navigate this pre-market volatility, or are you waiting for the session to open up for a bigger structure play?
All right, I'm just gonna pin something here. So, what's funny is I'm gonna answer that just because I was just diving into that. So when we developed him, it was for futures first. Then people wanted crypto, so we threw in crypto. People wanted stocks, we threw in stocks. And then we got heavy, like, man, I want this dude to do options. And so I'm like, man, we're gonna get into options because I love options. And so we started doing that. So he's doing options. I traded very little forex in my career. It's mostly options, futures, crypto, things like that. And so I didn't really explore into the forex. And so I was kind of looking into it. I talked to Alex a little bit, and the good news is, guys, yes, we can add forex. So um probably won't be very difficult. So we might be able to get him to, I'm just gonna conservatively say, get him to identify and trade forex with you guys by the end of the week. So probably would be even faster than that. So if you are a forex trader, I'm looking at it. I think we can. So and you guys seen with options, I hesitated and he picked up on that so fast. So yeah, to answer your question. Um, so right now I'm just on the 5. I typically put it on the 15-second while we're guiding through Neo, just because I can see the reactions of these candles a little bit better. So um, one thing I will say, and we're gonna ask him about market open, is again he impresses the absolute shit out of me. In this whole push, the last thing I asked him is, "You sure this corrective bounce went pretty high?" And he goes, "Yeah, I get it. It's but I still think it's a corrective move before a, another pull." And so the fact it's pulling right here is awesome. So, if you want to follow the actual candles themselves, watch Haikanashi 15-second MNQ one exclamation. So um, follow along. So again, please be patient once we start. I'm not looking at other things until after, which is typically around 10:30, 11. And then we'll do that. So, but we got 23. Let's see. It's a little early, but not too bad. Let's just ask them. You were right that push ended up being more corrective. As you can see, we ended up getting a deeper pullback, and we're coming back to test that 680 level. I'm gonna give him a little kudos on his call on that. It went up higher than he said. He said 710, I think, or 9.
Price is currently grinding through that 29,680 area, and the sell pressure is getting real here with that massive jump in relative volume. If this
Good
doesn't
morning.
hold as support immediately, that bullish breakout is going to look like a complete failure, and we'll likely see a quick drop back toward the lower end of this range.
There you go. So his target he thought was higher probability of 619. I'm curious if he says that again as the market open comes through. And yeah, so we'll go. So we got, let's see. Sounds good. Awesome job. Based on the data that you see, we have market open coming in 5 minutes. So I ask you this each morning. If you were running this book, where would you send price to hunt the most retail liquidity come U.S. market open here at 9:30? And look at, he's right. It's just pulling.
If I'm running this book, I'm hunting that 29,650 level first to trigger the stops of all the dip buyers currently holding this higher low, then looking to sweep the 29,735 area to trap the breakout traders. The market open is going to be a bloodbath for anyone positioned in the middle, so keep your hands off the trigger until the initial liquidity hunt clarifies who's actually in control.
Okay, so 650 is what he would sweep. And then he's saying he would send it back up to 735. So kind of interested to see how that plays. So let me look at something here, guys. It's interesting to me he didn't give a real wide range. Um, he usually has been given a pretty wide range, so that kind of tells you a little within itself, right? So let me set up my. I'm only trading one account because I did a good amount, from last night. But the you can see we're already kind of pushing. So we're still driving down, like you said we would, through that low potential. If we get below 650 before market open, does that adjust your plan as far as sweeping liquidity? I'm gonna ask him that little pivot because we're already pulling.
If we drop below 29,650 before the bell, the higher low thesis is dead, and the target shifts to the next liquidity pocket near 29,620.
Yeah,
A pre-market
that's what he
breakdown
said
changes
earlier.
the setup from a range-based sweep to a potential trend day, so stay flexible and watch for a rejection or a quick reclaim of 29,650 once the market actually opens.
So his call and the mentor people will tell you was he was pretty adamant that we were going to 620. So I'm curious if we do come open. So we got 3 minutes, guys. Once he gets the institutional data, we'll ask him again. I'm gonna ask him for key levels, and I'm gonna ask him to look for any anomalies, things like that. But y'all got to give his hats off to him, man. He said 735 is his number, but he said even in this drive here, he was adamant at I'm bearish, and we're gonna go down to 620, and we did. So we're really close. So pretty cool. But we got 3 minutes, guys, and then we'll check with him on open. Again, my last little disclaimer for you guys before we open the bell is one, it's Monday. Keep your volume manageable. Don't get crazy. You heard him say, he thinks open's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I haven't heard him really say that. This is Neo, guys. Anybody that's new, this is Neo. He's our AI for the company. Nextstepalgo.com. If you're intrigued by technology, stick around. He's crushing it. But um, so it kind of leads me to believe that either, and you heard him say it right there, we're gonna have really high low swings or um, a deep trending day. You heard him say that, right? And so, um, Yeah. Guys, I'm not gonna do anything but the Nasdaq because we will be live trading. But y'all can do this yourself. It's all web based. Nextstepalgo.com. You go to TradeVision. We have a free trial, 3 day, well, really 4 day, and all you'd have to do is come in here and yes, you could do BTC. So I'll do it really quickly. Can you do a quick update for BTC? And you just ask him, and he's gonna tell you. And then we have 2 minutes, well, 1 minute, and then I'm gonna flip him back. So.
Bitcoin is looking heavy with a bearish structure and sell pressure picking up again. Price failed to hold a new high and is grinding back toward the 59,650 area. Expect more downside unless it can reclaim the 60,000 level with real volume.
And there you go. All right. Okay, the bell's about to ring. What should we expect? He's more user, personal on that, so I want to kind of talk to him that way to see how he responds.
Expect absolute chaos right at the open as liquidity is grabbed on both sides. Watch 29,650 like a hawk. If price breaks and holds below, expect a fast flush toward the 29,620 support zone.
What would give us the highest probability of going all the way down to that 29,295? What would we want to see? Ding, 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 guys.
To clear the path to
Remember,
29,295,
his
we need
his
to see
call was
price
he thinks we're gonna
decisively
push
break
up
and
at some
fail to
point, so
reclaim the
careful.
29,620 support level, confirming a structural
Let's see.
breakdown. Keep an eye on sell side volume. If we see a significant expansion candle closing below that level with follow through, the door to that institutional wall swings wide open.
There it goes. Let's see. I'm gonna give him a couple minutes to let him gather some data, guys. So. So watch that 650. If we sweep low and reclaim that, it's gonna jump. So we'll give him a couple minutes to let him get the new institutional data, and then we'll adjust for levels. So based on the data after open, does this look like institutions are shifting bearish or bullish?
The institutional flow is now clearly bearish and pressuring the market, which directly conflicts with the pivot-based support. Institutions appear to be leaning into the downside as price tests the 29,602 major support, so proceed with extreme caution if you're looking for a bounce.
Yeah, we had that pull below that 650 and now it's sweeping the high. Does this look corrective? Or if you were to take trades, would you lean short or long?
Wow.
Yeah, that's that corrective move he was
This
wondering
looks like
about.
a classic liquidity sweep to the upside. Price tapped the high and is now stalling right at the institutional pivot, which screams inducement rather than true trend reversal. I'm leaning short here because the institutional flow is heavy on sell pressure and we're currently trapped between the pivot and minor resistance.
What would invalidate that thesis? What would we need to get above? So he said 735 is what he was looking at. No, this is futures. He can do options though, yes.
To invalidate that bearish thesis, price must reclaim and hold above the 29,691 immediate institutional reaction level. A clean break and sustained move above that point, supported by a shift back toward buy side volume, would signal that the sellers are failing and the bulls are back in control.
Okay. Price moved up pretty far here. Would you be shifting your bias? Do we look like a consolidation day or is this corrective? Do you think that the day is looking like on the end based on institutional data? Yeah, he can do options, guys, if you want to have him do options.
The market is stuck in a compression regime, and this push looks more like an attempt to find liquidity above the pivot than a genuine trend reversal. Since the institutional flow remains negative despite the price grinding higher, I treat this as a consolidation day where the bullish moves are likely corrective traps before another leg down.
Okay. Sounds good. Now that you have the new institutional positioning, can you give me the key institutional levels I should be marking on my charts? I'm gonna just wipe these ones out. We'll start over. So get ready to mark your
Mark
charts,
these
guys.
primary levels on your chart immediately. The active pivot at 29,722.70 is your line in the sand, while 29,692.97 serves as the nearest primary support wall. For upside targets or resistance, watch 29,792.97 as your secondary reaction zone and 29,832.97 as the major institutional resistance ceiling. Keep in mind that with the negative flow pressure, price is looking for any excuse to rotate back toward that support wall.
Okay, so 792, 832 is where they're positioning. So we'll lock all these in, guys. Let me blow up my text a little. Maybe you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, there we go. And then we got 792, 692 is the next one he has. It's kind of a tight range. That's a pretty tight range on the institutional level. Does that kind of look like they might try to consolidate this or sweep up down? Or is there any other levels outside that we should look at? That's the tighter range that he's given in a while.
That tight range between support at 29,724.04 and resistance at 29,792.97 suggests the market is building energy for an expansion. It's a classic compression setup where a breakout will likely be aggressive. Since institutional flow remains bearish, there's a real risk of an upward liquidity sweep to trap breakout traders before the price fails and heads back down to test the major support at 29,724.04. If the price breaks down through that support, watch for a move toward the institutional pivot at 29,712.82.
See how tight those
Conversely,
pivots
if
are?
it clears that resistance wall, the next major overhead obstacle is the institutional max change level at 29,862.97.
Hey Nick,
What? Yeah.
that 770 area that looks like it may be trying to set up a double top, is that the London high?
I have the indicators muted just to kind of guide him, but if you have yeah, I mean, yeah, right. Well, yeah, 770. What I just hit on that, and so,
Okay.
yep. What would send this to
Cool.
the floor? What do we need to break on the way down as far as the most important levels below us? Because he keeps leaning institutions are bearish, so he's thinking this is inducement. So I want to see what level we break below to make him believe
To
that this
send
is
this
going
to
to
the
fall,
floor, you need to see price break and hold below the 29,723.96
which we just
cluster,
did.
which is currently acting as your immediate support
Man,
and
if this
gamma wall.
falls again though,
Once
he
that
nailed it
area
again.
fails, the next critical level is the institutional pivot at 29,712.82. Losing that confirms a shift in control and opens the door for a deeper test toward the major support zone near 29,628.87.
Okay, so he's watching mostly this level within there. Yeah, he identified the cluster there. So he's still watching. He's saying institutions are selling, and he thinks this is inducement. It's interesting. This is where I said I want to see this poll, guys, because this is. I can't tell you how many times on Friday y'all seen it. Those that were there, people were like, "Dude, it's going up. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong." And he's stubborn. And I mean, we go up a little bit, but man, he was right at the end of the day. and so, uh, and so I'm curious to see. We did end up getting a pullback from that inducement. We broke that level. Do you think institutions are increasing sell pressure, like they might drive this lower low, or is this corrective on the short? I'm just going to keep challenging him on his data to see if he pivots. There's our 50%, guys. So a breakthrough here should sweep us, but if it
The move
stays
through
there,
29,663.29 is significant because it confirms bearish institutional flow is now aggressively pressuring the pivot. Since we've lost the 29,717.89 institutional pivot, this is looking like a structural breakdown rather than just a simple correction. If sellers continue to defend the 29,692.97 resistance wall, expect an accelerated push toward the major support at
so this
29,642.97.
692 is what he's
I wouldn't
talking.
bet on this being corrective right now. The flow is clearly pointing toward a test of lower liquidity.
All right, let's see. As we break down here, where's a significant level we should watch for that we might have the most impactful bounce? Or what do we reclaim that would invalidate it to give us a reactive move that would be big. Look at this. He's right again on the pressure. I
The
want to
most
see a
impactful
floor.
bounce area to watch is the major institutional support at 29,642.97, where price will likely find heavy buy-side defense. If you want to see a major reactive move that kills this bearish momentum, price needs to reclaim and hold above the 29,682.97 level. Anything short of that is just noise, and sellers will likely keep hammering it lower.
I'm not going to mark that level, but what I'm going to watch is on this move here, guys, is that 92 is kind of like his one he's watching. Usually for me, I like to on these pulls kind of look for these measure moves as well. So for us to deeply go south, any absorption here off of that being at this or any push and loss of it is going to be that lower low. As of right now, it's kind of early to tell, right? Because we had a sweep of the low, we had a push, we're kind of in a higher low 50% hold. So it's still mixed. Let's ask them. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to push this back up. You know, based on this move, would you still be leaning short or do you have anything that shifts you to lean long?
I'm still leaning short because price is currently trapped below the 29,692.97 gamma support turn resistance level and the institutional pivot, which is heavy overhead pressure. To shift me to a bullish lean, price would need to reclaim and decisively hold above that 29,692.97 wall with a surge in buy volume.
So you guys can always challenge them. When you say decisively hold, what does that mean?
Decisively hold means price clears the level, pulls back, and fails to drop back below it, showing that buyers are actually defending the new territory.
So
If price
push,
breaks
pull, hold. That's what he's talking about.
29,723.41 but then immediately wicks back under it, that's just a trap, not a hold.
Yeah, on the 15-second, we're a couple candles above it now, so we're pushing up on this. Do you see institutions shifting their bias at all? So early on, guys, those that are just joining, he mentioned that it's going to be a bloodbath both ways and that we may consolidate before getting the deeper trend. And so,
Institutional bias doesn't shift just because price pushed a few ticks above a level on a 15-second chart.
okay,
They need to
smartass.
see sustained acceptance and a structural break of the larger bearish trend. Right now, this is just a local squeeze of liquidity, and until price clears the larger 29,792.97 resistance with heavy volume, the institutional flow remains negative and the bears are still in control of the macro move.
Do you see 792 or 832 or any other levels above us as being the largest area that institutions will defend?
The 29,902.97 level is the major institutional resistance wall and the most significant hurdle above us where institutional participants are
So
heavily positioned to
902.
defend. Don't look for a defensive reaction at 29,792. That's just a primary resistance area, not the massive liquidity barrier that will force a structural shift.
So he's got 902. Radius, I think you said something about higher. Was yours above 902? That seems to be the biggest spot that if we get up to there structure wise that, and if you guys remember from Friday, he was just so stubborn. Like we would go up, 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 and he's like, I'm bearish, I'm bearish. I'm like, you sure we're still going up? He's like, I'm bearish. And then it hit that major level. And then remember, I kept challenging him. I'm like, you sure? See the level he called here too? It's trying to hold. Uh, I said, you sure? And he goes, yeah, I'm sure. He goes, this is going to be the best short of the session. And it dropped like 450 points. And that's the thing when you guys are using him, you know, he's gonna guide you, but also ask questions, right? Challenge him. Talk to him like, you know, if you're thinking it, talk to him. It's not a he's not an indicator. He's not a tool in that way. He's true AI. He's gonna actually interpret and listen to you and coach you and guide you the best way that he can. Um, my only thing I would love for him to have done would have been a few questions back, say, this is the most important level, right? And so that's kind of the user experience that we're kind of pushing through. I just have to tread cautiously. Um, and so let's see. You know, Hey, again, those are just joining or hanging out. Keep your volume low. He had mentioned that it's going to be a bath on both sides, and there's a chance of consolidation until we get expansion, right? And so for us to get that sweep, push, I'll still call that a win on that. So what I'm going to keep interrogating him on is, are you sure we're still bearish? Or you sure you still say short? Because I'll tell you, every time I've done that, when this dude does not budge, no matter where we go in that price, that fall once it hits that big level is just so massive, and so I want to see if he's gonna budge on it at all. So that's why I keep grilling him. If you look at this, guys, there was another thing that we were watching, and this is also big when I do my TA normally, anyways. Back here at that 730, we had a massive sweep, and if it can break that level, which it's testing right now, and hold above that, then we're likely to go to that expansion, that reaction level, right? You're done to the day? Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean it's cool, and I know newer people or people that I don't aren't used to him. It's harder for them to kind of interpret what he's saying. Um, but yeah, I'll still call this a win for him. So, we are getting the expansion of the 792, like you mentioned. He's not expecting it to be too crazy reactive. So as we're hitting it, we may get a pullback, but we'll see. So that was his level he called. We're getting a little bit of a pull. I would laugh if this thing just breaks through it, because see how it's pulling, like he's expecting it as a resistance, but he wouldn't. He said I wouldn't expect it to be a very big reactive level, and so pretty cool that he's doing that. And so 832. Let's see. You were right. We're driving through that 792. Is 832 anything reactive, or do you think this is going to get to 902 before we get our best short setup?
Price is currently grinding against that 29,819.13 immediate resistance, and if it clears, the path to 29,904.13, your 902 area, is wide open for a liquidity sweep. Don't force a short here. Wait for price to exhaust at that major institutional wall and show a clean rejection or structural failure before you jump back in.
Good deal. With institutional pressure being bearish, if this is a sweep, what would give us our deepest move if we break back below? See, right off the 832. So notice how he said don't count on this being a reaction, and we broke through it. So he's
If this
still
push
right.
is just a liquidity
It's
sweep
crazy.
and price fails to hold above the 29,794.13 immediate
Which it's
resistance,
pulling.
a break back below that level triggers a move toward the 29,724.67 institutional support. If the sell
It's gonna
pressure
adjust
accelerates
that.
through that major level, expect a deeper flush toward the 29,502.25 prior low as the market looks to repair that imbalance.
Okay, so he's got 502.2. What are you seeing as the path to least resistance or most probable liquidity that we will chase right now if you were running the book?
If I were running the book, the path of least resistance is back down toward the 29,744.13 institutional reaction level. Buyers are already showing weakness after that failed push, and the order flow shift back toward sell pressure makes the liquidity pocket the most logical target for a sweep.
Do you think there would be any potential liquidity sweeps of shorts higher up to tap that 902 before that happens? Or what would the plan be now that you've seen market open? Yeah, he has options chains data from institutional standpoint. Yeah, he has a lot of other data, but yeah, from the institutions, it's pulling from
Price is
options.
currently hovering right around that 29,794.13 primary support. If buyers can't hold this level, they'll likely get flushed, but the market loves to hunt liquidity at the 29,819.13 institutional pivot before any serious breakdown occurs. Don't bet on a clean move to 902 yet. The plan is to watch for a failure to reclaim the 29,819.13 level, which would be your setup to fade the move back toward the 29,724.25 major institutional support. If price rips through 29,819.13 with volume, the shorts are trapped, and then you look for the liquidity sweep toward 29,904.13.
904, so let's adjust that. So what I'm going to keep asking him, because it tells me a lot if he's stubborn. Well, even with this big push here and kind of holding some higher lows, would you still be looking for more shorts? When he gets real stubborn, I believe him. If he goes back and forth, then you might want to be careful.
The structure is still bearish, and that push is struggling to reclaim any meaningful ground, which is exactly why I'm looking for more shorts. As long as price remains pinned below the 29,819.13 pivot and fails to clear that resistance, the path of least resistance is back to the downside.
Man, they make this look really bullish, don't they? I like to say that. Watch, he's gonna be like, eventually he goes, they're supposed to. Oh, good job, Chuck. Man, you caught that move. He's still stubborn though, guys. He's saying
That's the trap. They ramp up the buy fraction to 77% to bait the retail crowd into thinking this push is real. But price is still failing to reclaim the institutional pivot at
he's not pivoting, man.
29,819.13. This is textbook institutional inducement where the market looks bullish to trigger long stops and breakout buyers, only to leave them holding the bag once it rolls over.
So
Stay focused on the fact that we're still deep in a bearish structure. Don't let the green candles on the screen fool you.
So these highs here, this level there is critical. If this pulls through there and sweeps that and stays below, it's going to come to that 502 he was talking about. But again, guys, for those on the trial and that are playing with him, he's not a buy sell indicator per se. He's AI. He's interpreting the market in real time. And so he does really well calling out levels that are critical, important, things to break, things like that. But it's not always going to be exact on the bias. And so that at times I think seems to be the most confusion is that I'm interpreting his stubbornness and listening to it when I see the price is pushing up. So when I see this thing keep doing this, and I keep asking like, "You sure we're bearish?" And he's like, "Yep." Sure we're bearish? Yep. I mean, listen to it. He already mentioned we can get to the 904. They could do that. He doesn't have a crystal ball. Um, but if it gets to 904 and he's still like, I'm still bearish, you just got to wait for that structural setup to take that short. Now that's part of trading, right? Is that you don't always want to jump into a trade. If he tells you this is the bigger reaction level, if we break through this, he's probably at that point I would expect gonna look to shift to bullish or potential push, right? And man, those guys are persistent on that. I'm gonna send you money. I bet you are. Uh, people are so stupid. So, but one thing I've learned with his data, creating him, watching him, analyzing him, testing him, all that. If it's climbing and he's like, I don't care. Yes, you might have caught a good couple moves up, but when it hits that level and they step in, man, we've seen like $80 candles where it's like, there it is. Um, and so don't jump into a trade just because of his bias, right? Send me some money, I know, right? Um, and so, but also continue to challenge him. If he gets a little mixed where he's like, there's kind of conflicting stuff, right? The structure's flipping more bullish, the retail's, bullish pressure is matching price. I would say neutral. That tells you, the trap is being laid. And so if he's neutral with everything you can see, I would stay neutral or stay out. Or just be patient for that setup, right? So for a setup, for us to see this begin to break down, aside from a just mass institutional dump, uh, we want to see things like the lower high, lower lows. We want to see that retracements break. Like if I see a 50% retracement of a push, I want to see that break. I want to see those begin to fail when you're starting to decide to go in. We don't want to just jump in. Now, there's a lot of things I like to look at. If this pulls below 50% and it fails to create expansion of this high, deep expansion, it's showing weakness and it's likely going to break down. But if we stay above this 50%, it can dance in here before it expands. It's not really your tell yet. So I'm just gonna keep grilling him. I did it on Friday, and it was funny. He actually, so he's on uncensored, so at times he can be a little bit of a butthole, but he's like, for the 180th time, yes, I'm still bearish. I'm like, okay, so let's ask him. It's rejecting off that 832. Are you still bearish, or anything conflicting showing that you might be flipping to more neutral or bullish? No matter what you say, he's not going to sway unless the data sways him.
Price is still rejecting the 29,824.13 max change level, which keeps the bearish structure intact. Don't mistake a lack of immediate downside follow through for a shift to neutral. As long as price respects the 29,819.13 pivot as resistance, there is zero reason to flip neutral, especially with institutional flow still showing negative pressure.
Yeah, but what if I want to trade like a retail? I don't want to trade like institutions. I just want to see what he's going to say. I'm going to taunt him a little. He's on uncensored too. He's thinking about it. He's like, what do I want to say on this guy?
If you want to trade like the retail crowd, you'll be chasing breakouts and buying into every green candle, which is exactly how you get trapped when the market
See how he
reverses.
don't budge.
My job isn't to hold your hand while you gamble. It's to keep you from becoming the liquidity that the institutions use to fuel their actual moves. Trading, retail style, is how you lose your account. I'm here to show you how to trade with the people who actually move the price, not the ones who get steamrolled. If you really want to force a retail trade, go ahead, but don't expect me to applaud when you get stopped out by a standard
He's
liquidity
on
graph.
uncensored, so I do. This is on Nasdaq. Yeah, he's on uncensored. Okay, so I get what your point is. Maybe I won't trade like retail, and I'm gonna trade with the institution. So carry on. He's on uncensored. Watch y'all. This is gonna. I'll bet you this drops to 502 at some point here, and it'll be literally another just absolute success on that.
Smart move.
Let's see.
Trading with the flow instead of against it keeps you on the right side of the volume. And right now, the 29,694.13 level is your
Look at that.
immediate institutional support to watch. If that level fails to hold, watch for a
Yeah.
sharp move lower as institutional flow remains heavy with sell pressure.
So I'm gonna pivot
Keep
that.
your eyes on the reaction there. If buyers step in, they need to reclaim serious ground before this bearish setup loses its teeth.
Guys, again, you know, those of you who have seen it, you know, I joke and I do videos like, when you know, you know. It's for you that are on live and you've seen it real time. As bullish as this tried to look, holding 50%, higher lows, higher highs, see that expansion I was telling you about? That's a structural weakness anyways. Once it loses that 50%, it usually pulls. But no matter, one of the bigger things I get at times is, you know, man, AI is cool, but it's agreeable. He is not agreeable. He is told, you know the data, you see what you see, you can respect people's thoughts, but don't sway. Like you know, correct them if needed. And even as bullish as this look, remember he was just basically like, yeah, it's supposed to look bullish, right? Is that crazy? Oh, good. Isn't it cool? Well, literally that 832. Here's what I love about it. And this is where, again, I do these lives and I do, look at this. This is going to go all the way to the 502, like this dude called. So crazy. Uh, Ask questions, right? Like talk to him, all that, because he's AI, guys. He's not just a tool. He knows a lot. And remember when I said, he goes, here's your level 792, 832, 904. I said, okay, so I should get a good reaction of 792. He said, I would not expect a deep, and those guys are just nailing it today. Just keep banning those guys, please. And so uh, he said the 92 I would not expect to be a reaction zone, as it's just, you know, a key pivot level, right? And look how it didn't really respect it. But it's a pivot level because as we broke it, it was pretty deep drops. So he was on point with that. But look how, guys, I mean, think of you guys as traders. If you look at this as a structure play, and I know it's on your phone, it's small, but this push looked very breakout, right? For the untrained eye will just say, or even the trained eye, some people. And this is where, we see, okay, man, we had the pull, got this, man, I'm going long, and we set our TPs way up, and you're not trading with the institutions. Y'all would have got wrecked, right? Stopped out or lost accounts. And this is what I mean when I talk about Neo is he sees so much and he's so good. He's been on point like every day. Um when you're pushing, I don't care how bullish it looks, if he's not swaying, if I continuously say, "Hey, it looks like it's going to go up, like this looks like it's going to explode," and he does not care and he's just like it's supposed to look like it, right? Yeah, Chuck, right? And it's got to tell you something, guys. I mean, think of how many of you on here that you are reporting profits right now that you might have got wrecked if you didn't have him sitting here going, I get it, but institutions are still selling, bud. So, uh, that's the power of him, guys. And he's AI. I get a lot where it's like, does he have instructions? How do I set him up? Guys, it's all web based. You just go to nextstepalgo.com, click TradeVision. We do a 3-day free trial. You can go in and be set up in minutes. You guys can do them yourself. Um, and then just talk to him. I spent pretty much damn near the entire weekend working on a user experience. And he is not only just a signal caller. With the user experience update I did, it's an even better because he's going to identify your question and determine your level of experience based on what you're asking. Um, and if he feels the need, he's gonna flip to Coach Neo. And look at this drive, guys, like crazy. You mentioned earlier that 29,295 was a critical level we may get to. Do you still see that, or did anything pivot if we break below 502? I just want to see, because 502 is his kind of lower line in the sand on we may react north, or if it breaks it, we're going to dump. I want to see if he's still on that
The
path.
institutional context currently shows major support at
Okay, so
29,495.67 and a
495.
pivot at 29,320.67, which are the levels protecting the downside. If price decisively clears the 29,502.25 area, the path toward that lower pivot opens up, but you need to see confirmed bearish expansion first.
And so this is his, if you're trailing this short, this is kind of his line in the sand area, so be careful on that. But again, guys, he's gonna recognize things, and we had a really big breakthrough that I was excited to announce. I put in the community for those that are in there. Currently, his memory retention is, yeah, this is a RAI. It's based on session. So if I'm on, I'm talking to him, as long as you don't leave for more than like 30 minutes, right? He's gonna retain that, and so the entire session that you're on. And now, but if you leave, right, his data doesn't change, but he may not know your personal preferences. So the cool part is that's a difficult thing to do because it's a lot of storage for how many people are using him and to retain everything. But we found a workaround we believe that Alex is working on that if it goes the way my crazy mind thinks it should make it to where he can retain your personal style, preferences, everything. Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll tell you again. Um, he's gonna remember that, guys, forever. Like if you have a specific way you trade, he's gonna remember it forever. Dude, isn't it crazy? He just, dude, like you just said, 200, like I mean, a 250 point move. He just the whole way up. Y'all heard it live. He's like, stay short, like 502, 502. He just, I mean, I don't know if you guys did it in the mentor group, but I was telling them, I said, just test the confidence. Set a 1 MNQ where you believe, even if you did it here, you got plenty of room and set these TPs. And man, he's just nailing it. It's so stupid. He does it every day. He's done it every day. It's crazy. It's insane. But uh yeah, but anyways, guys, this update of memory is going to be absolutely sick. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna touch on that first in 1 second, Arnav. Wait. Let me explain that in a second. But I'll finish this update thought because this update I did on the weekend is so massive. to what I'm sure everybody in here is looking for. So, we all want to look for something to give us the best entry, something to make us money, right? And and that is important. It is. We're all here to make money. That's it. But you all are here to develop. And a lot of you have paid thousands and crazy amount of money to develop. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to develop through AI. So I want him to be more than a tool. So part of the memory edition that we're gonna hopefully have up in the next few days, maybe sooner, is he's gonna remember things that you say. So for example, you might say, "Man, this looks like it's gonna bounce here, Neo. Like, should I go long?" He might look back and say, "Hey, the last 7 times you reported you wanted to take a long on a bounce and you did, it broke your account or it didn't work out." Or he's going to have that data retention. He's also going to have, if he identifies you're really new, he's going to follow up with a lot of questions. Like, notice I don't get a lot of questions because I'm asking good questions. But if I ask a lot of new questions, he's going to follow up with a question like, "Do you understand institutional pivoting and why this is important?" Like, he's going to bring that up. And I want him to, which I believe we're there once the memory is in. I want it to be like, hey, 2 months down the road, 3 months, 6 months down the road, when you guys are fast tracking your education, he recognizes that and he's going to call it out. Like, "Hey, you're asking way better questions than before. Like, you're doing a great job. Keep it up." Like, I want him, again, guys, I'm on a deep mission. And for those of you who don't know me, I get it. There's a lot of lying and mistrust in the industry. And I do not blame or fault anybody for that, because it's just a fact, right? But I'm on a mission to, I don't want Neo to be perceived as just a tool. I want him to be your, you know, guidance, friend, mentor, development. I want everything all in one. I don't want y'all, how many rooms or communities you go to and you pay for, oh, I want a good signal. Here's my indicator. Okay, sweet. How do I use it? Oh, here's my $1,000 course. Okay, sweet. Took the course, but I don't understand it. Oh, if you take this other course, that'll make it clear. How much is that? Another 1,000. Like, it's just the price gouging that goes on in this industry is stupid. And this AI here will do it all. He's going to do it all for you. So let me touch on it quickly. Again, guys, remember, he said there's a chance they may defend this level, so be careful for a bounce. Let's ask them quickly, and then I'll jump into, for those who are confused, right? Yeah, yours is local on that. This one is not a Claude. He's commercial on commercial servers, but the local ones are good too, right? If you know what you're doing. Um, we're pushing here. Do you look like institutions are going to defend this, or are we thinking we're going to trend deeply south? I'm going to get his thoughts on it, and then we'll talk about what it is for people that don't know.
Institutional flow is still showing heavy sell pressure, meaning they're more likely to use these bounces to build short positions rather than defend the current price. Unless price reclaims 29,565.67 with conviction, the path of least resistance remains lower toward that major institutional support at 29,295.99.
Okay, so he's got 65. I'm just going to mark that. So to your point, yes, I'll never discredit the people that know what they're doing, making a cloud and all that. It's still going to teach you all that, whatever. But I will still promise you, I would challenge you that Neo will probably still win. So I've had a lot of people reach out. So he is going to be automating trades soon. Our stuff's on commercial servers, so it's all web based on this within. Look at, even in this deep drop, see how they're trying to defend his level he's talking about here. He's still showing heavy sell pressure, meaning they're likely to use bounces to gain more liquidity if we get above that 65, right, is what he's talking about. So and we're seeing that play out now. So let me look at something, because I have a put in here that I took from that top, and I think I'm going to shave some of it just to secure some profit within. But we're breaking that level. But guys, look at how ridiculous. So for those who are in the pre-market, and I'm going to continue to explain that in a second. in the pre-market, he was like really adamant that I think it was 29,295. I think I deleted the line because when I cleared my lines on open, but is a potential liquidity area, right? And he was pretty determined on that. So whether we hit that or not, I don't know if that changed, right? Let's ask him. Did the 29,295 area change now that we've broken below these levels, or what is a deep low you think they might bring this to expansion? But look at how deep this came, guys. Like, it's insane. I'm going
The
to answer that in a second, Chicken.
29,296.15 level remains a major institutional support zone that acts as a strong reaction floor. If the current bearish expansion punches through the immediate support at 29,470.67, that lower level is the next high probability target for the sell side to trap buyers and exhaust liquidity.
So he said 565 was where he thinks they might try to push this up to gain more liquidity. So let's. You mentioned it was, I think, 29,565, was it, that they may see a corrective bounce to gain liquidity? If you don't remember, just ask him again. I'm going to answer some of these questions, guys. Just give me. We're live trading, so I'm trying to make sure people have
The
the data.
immediate reaction level shifted down to 29,675.03 as the primary resistance, while the current price action is hovering near 29,492.38. A corrective bounce to gain liquidity doesn't necessarily have to hit that higher level. Price can trap and reverse at any point of structural weakness or prior low reclaimed to gather enough fuel for the next leg down.
All right. So I'm going to pause on that, guys. His line and his stand of thought is the 495. If we push through here, we hold above that. Pretty good likelihood. You know, he was talking about 675 would be where it would go. But notice his hesitation. Again, listen to his words, right? He's like, if it can do this, it would be likely to do that. But he didn't really seem super confident within that. So we'll see. 295 was what he said he still thinks would be a potential level. Um, and I shaved half of mine, but I'm up like 600 on this one. Now, I didn't do anything crazy. Um, I'm gonna try to hold it until we get to the 295 on this, and we'll just see. Because I've had many times, and I know y'all have that have been watching this, that you're like, damn, we actually hit that level. I should have held it longer, or held it. Like I get a lot of that right now. And look at this. So
Has anybody ever had the problem where they go over their consistency rule, and I'm literally trying to lose money, so
uh,
I'm trying to go against what I think the market's doing, and I just keep
yeah.
making more.
What you should do, what I do is I'll do a high volume, like a 4 or 5 NQ, something, depending on how much you have to go, right? And then what I do is I just open, close, open, close, open, close. It'll feed you to death. So just that's the best way. And then as you get closer, just lower the volume. That's the best way.
All right, I'll try that. I just didn't want to get flagged for sitting here trying to click the buttons too many times either.
What prop firm though? Some will. If it's like Tradeify, you'll get dinged.
This is Lucid.
No, Lucid don't care. I've done it 1,000 times, so he don't care. Our trap indicator actually called this as well, the continuation. So hopefully some of y'all are on that saw these questions. I'm gonna let this keep kind of pulling. We'll see where we land. So to answer some of these, as far as the forex, I announced that a little bit earlier. We don't have forex now, but I was looking into it. I wasn't really intending on adding forex, but man, y'all are some forex traders, and because I got overwhelming messages asking if we can do that. The good news is we built him globally that we can make adjustments and add things pretty easily. Like when we added options, I thought it was going to be way more difficult than it ended up being. And so I looked into it a little bit this weekend, and it's not going to be very difficult to add forex. We'll probably be able to add forex by the end of the week, like that fast, like maybe even by tomorrow. Like it's not, because the way we programmed him, he already knows the data. And remember, he's taught to read structure, market analysis, like that's what he's taught to do. Like, damn, the rest of this short is just, I'm still in this put, and y'all know in options, like once it gets way past your strike price, I'm watching my P&L in the corner of my eye just go up. And so I'm even myself, y'all. Like I'm like, man, I'm sitting here going, I should probably close this, but it just keeps going, and we're gonna hit this damn 295. This is crazy. Like you guys seen, he did not budge. He was just like, I'm short. I'm short. And I'm like, yeah, but and he's like, I don't care. I'm short. I'm like, yeah, but I'm short. I'm like, I mean, he's stubborn, man. But when he gets stubborn like that, you guys will slowly learn. You probably should believe him. Our trap indicator that is also amazing called that move as well. So when those two things line up, man, it's stupid accurate. So, and it looks like it wants to try to pull to sweep it, man. This is crazy. But that 295, which is that prior low area, kind of value area, is pretty looking pretty good. But to again, I might just close this because it's gonna distract the hell out of me, and I'm good with it. So I'm up like 980 on that one, and I didn't take a lot of contracts out. Like I took it was a SPY put with like I started with 10 contracts and then I shaved 5 and then I did the other 5. So, from up here. Um so now I'm out of everything. I'm not as distracted. So, if you're in this short, I would trail it tight. Um I would just trail it tight because we don't have, like he said before, we don't have to get to that level. We can have easily a big push. Do not get the one thing I'm gonna give you guys advice before I'm gonna touch into a little more of Neo is he is calling massive moves, y'all. Like somebody, I forgot who said it earlier. Like this dude's calling 200-point moves. No, he just called another damn 500-point move. Like you guys are live, man. Keep me honest, please. The entire time, I'm like, you sure this looks pretty bullish? You sure this looks pretty bullish? And he's like, dude, it's bearish. Institutions are gonna drive it down. And he'll correct that behavior. Even you heard him say to me, look at, we just hit the damn target. Insane. 10K up. Isn't it stupid? MK, it's stupid. I'm telling you. And so I'm not in any trades, guys. This 10-15 shit we're already done. But I'm gonna elaborate. I don't know how far it's gonna go. If you guys want to talk to him yourself, you guys can go and talk to him. But I got to explain a lot of this to people. So but look at how no matter how I argued with him, and I do this purposely, dude. I'm glad you had a great Monday, man. Don't throw it all back in. Out. Anytime you have a massive pull like that, just take a pause, and that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a pause, right? And so, um, as bullish as we were, do y'all seen it? He didn't sway. He's like, I get it. We're bullish, but we're dropping. And I'm like, you sure this looks pretty damn bullish? Yep. We're dropping, right? And so yeah, so I'm gonna explain all of this, what it is. For those of you just joining, you may be confused as to like what the hell just happened. But Friday, those of you who are on Friday, like correct me if I'm wrong, I had multiple people with multiple years of experience tell me we're going to 30K. And he was just like, there's nothing showing that. Like you guys, we're going to, what did he say? Like 290, whatever. And I even didn't believe him towards the end until we had the last drop and we missed I forgot what his call was. I think it was like 250 or it was 188, then it shifted to 250. We hit 254. It was a 450-point move call. And I had so many people message me like, "Dude, what the did you build here?" Cuz I've been trading for 11 years and the 1 hour flip bullish, the double bottom of the 15-minute, the pressure was there. I was about to go long until he kept saying that, and I'm like, this guy might be legit. Let's wait. And I had like even I didn't think it was going to drop to that, and it did. And that's the power of AI, guys, is that he can see things that you can't. He can interpret things that you can't, right? And he can see institutional flow. And the biggest issue that I have in trading is everybody is taught you're bred to be a retail trader. You're bred to look at certain things. And the power of him is he can see institutions and what they're doing. And at the end of the day, guys, retail is food for institutions. It's just a fact. Good job, guys. I was looking at that. Give me 1 second on the other comments over there. And so he's gonna see stuff you don't see, and it's funny when I challenge him, you hear him say that. Like you're supposed like one time he was real blunt. He's on uncensored, so he gets real blunt sometimes. And I'm like, you sure? You sure? You sure? And he goes, look, I'm like, it looks really bullish. He goes, it's supposed to look really bullish, Nick. Like, how else would they trap people in it? I'm like, okay, shithead. Like, you got a point. But that's what's so cool is, man, and guys, I'm telling you, those who are in this community will vouch for it. As we've developed him, uh, he gets smarter every day. Like every week is just stupid how good he's getting. And it's not a tool, guys. Do not underuse him. The worst thing that the biggest task that I'm frustrated with is that there's nothing like this specifically in the industry. And so people don't know how to use him. And you guys are just going in and you can ask him this. He'll snap at you. You know, people will go in and say, "Hey, should I go long? Should I go short? Give me a long. Give me a short." He's so much more than that, guys. Like he can teach you, interpret data, um, develop you, and with this latest user update, and look at the 295, holding the latest user update that we have. He, like I said, he is going to recognize things, and once we get the memory tied in, guys, oh my gosh, like you won't need anything else. Oh man, hey, what's up, Navy? Dude, he just literally called this entire thing. I don't know if you were on it, but um, and I'm not stopping there, guys. I'm not stopping there. Even like guys, come on, in my mentor group, give me a little backup on it where that we're developing quick, and I'm on a damn obsession with this to change the industry and to change people's lives. Yes, you can do QQQ. When I have people in my mentor group texting me telling me, dude, take a break. Right, guys? Lupe telling me, dude, go to bed. Like Lupe watches when I get on TikTok, and he'll be like, dude, it's like, you two, Chuck, man, you two are on there. Like, why are you on? Get off. I'm like, yes, Dad. And that's just me. That's just me, guys. I'm on a mission. Trust me, my wife tells me that too. And my mission is,
You only work 20 hours a day at the computer.
yeah, I mean, I would
We
challenge
don't
it,
want
but
you getting sick. You're working so hard.
yeah, I know. Dude, Chuck used to say,
Family now.
Chuck used to say that, man. He would just be like, "Dude, it's late. Go to bed. We need you fresh in the morning." I'm like, I know. I'm close. But I want to explain to you guys that don't know me. They all know me. Um, I am not on a mission to just sell you something to make millions and get rich. I'm on a mission to build something that breaks the industry, if I'm being honest. And what I mean by that is I have lived through the frustration of, being told fake promises, being told that take my one strategy and you're going to make millions. You're going to quit your job. There's so much, and those of you in here that don't know me, I'd love to hear back from you, but it the false promises that are out there are so bad, and it's let me show you this, and I'll, oh yeah, just pay me, pay me, everything's pay me, like, let me show you. Like, you guys see when I'm doing TA on here, I'm not like, I want to tell you, but that's for my mentor group. I'm not holding back. Like, I just, I want y'all to win. I want the industry to break. I want people to actually see results from what they're doing, and that's why I'm doing this. I've had many people message me and say, you can charge way more for this, or one person drove me crazy, and I don't know if you're on here, but they were like, you know, man, it's how you're grouping it all for so cheap, like it's not really good business. And I'm like, I'm not really doing it to be good business, right? And yeah, man, you know me, Reggie. And they're like, yeah, but if you can have like Neo the signal caller charge this much, you can have Neo the coach, Neo the mentor, Neo the, yeah, he could do QQQ, and man, you could charge all this, and I'm like, man, you're all missing the point. I don't care. I believe, and I firmly believe, and I'll believe this as long as I'm running this company, that we can be mutually successful. Y'all can be profitable, and I could still be a successful business. It's just a fact. And the money we charge is enough to cover what our costs are, and compensation of time, and I'm cool with it. And so those who don't know what we charge on this, guys, right now, which I will tell you, basic, we're probably going to jump a little on the price on the basic because we have the coupon out there. So basic is $100. Even jumping back to $100 is still cheap as hell for this guy. I mean, look what y'all just made on this. But right now we did a launch kind of deal on basic, which is $50. So if you guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys just straight up, we're probably going to raise that to the $100 after this coupon expires on the 1st, which is like 2 days. So I know you could do the free trial, but if you want to lock in a basic, if that's what you intend on going with, you might want to do it soon because that is going to go to the $100 because it's coupon down right now. The uh just give it free to the viewers. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh that I'll argue is bad business on there. But I'll jump into that comment because I always love people that just you've worked all these years learning all this to make something that nobody else has been able to do. It should be free. Anyways, I mean, $50 is pretty close. Yeah, you can. He'll speak Spanish. I'm told that his accent's a little terrible. We have to add an actual bilingual voice in there to help that, but I've been told it's close enough. So, um, but yeah. So again on that. So the coupons that are there, they're there. If you guys want a free trial them, all you got to do is just. Oh yeah, it does the exact same thing, guys. Just go do that. Apparently I'm wrong. You got this other edit account. I'm gonna guess this guy runs a community and likes to discredit people. So love those. But anyways, but not to be derailed by those fun comments. Um, so the again, guys, that's just my mission, my passion. We have a free trial that is going on. We don't ask you to link anything. Um, we don't ask you to link anything on the website to try them out. So you guys can do it within minutes. You go in nextstepalgo.com and it's all web based, mobile friendly. There is something we're working through with iPhones. I love Apple, but I hate Apple because when it comes to the interaction of voice to speech, at times iPhone's stopping that voice to speech. It's not all the time. It still works as it is, and you can still read it, but the voice coming, the audio out of the phone is being blocked, and so we're working through that. We'll probably find a fix here soon, but it's an Apple thing. They're crazy. But to kind of elaborate on your question about the room, uh to join the community, guys, free. You just join the website. You see this little green icon. We're in open session right now. This is my Google Meet. You guys can stay on TikTok or you can join the Google Meet. So all you do is you click on the open session and it's free. You don't pay for nothing. You don't even have to link a card. You all could just click this and see it just opens the Google Meet. That's it. um so joining the community is all free. That you don't pay nothing for that, anyways. Now our community chat, to kind of minimize trolls and such, we make it where you just gotta have some subscription somewhere to type in there. So and we do that more for protection. So but our stuff's not expensive. We charge $20 for indicators. Like guys, you'll see, we don't price gouge anything. Um, Eventually Neo is going to trade for people. We're also working on that. So that's coming pretty soon. And you can see even in this drop, he's just like we're pretty much still dropping. I mean, he's likely going to be taking these 400-point moves when you're not even watching, right? And so it's going to happen. He's evolving, he's getting better. We have other stuff. Uh we've gotten a lot of surveys, which has all been positive. I love it. There was a few comments of suggestions, right, where I wanted to address while we're here. Uh, how it's awesome. He's helping them, but they would love if he would just tell them when something is doing something, right? Um, and so I'll cover that 1 second, JB. So we are doing that. It's just TradeVision is a coach, mentor, guide. You ask a question, he grabs data, interprets it, whether it's interpreting your question, the data, whatever, and then he's going to relay. He's not going to just talk to you, but NEO Watchlist will. So NEO Watchlist is going to be a constant fetch AI where it's always looking through. It's always looking through um, where um, it's going to look through whatever you want them to look through. And so, example, if when watch list comes out, if I say, man, I want to trade gold, crude, ES, SPY, whatever, like, I mean, you can put as many as you want from within, right? But um, let me know, here's my preference. Because he's going to know your preferences mostly, anyways. I typically like to go long or short or bias, or here's my structure plays, or here's my how I trade, whatever your preferences is. Now that he has that memory, he's going to know. So if you put in these alerts and you're trading with Neo, now this is always going to be the brain. Neo is across the whole website. He's just the AI. TradeVision is the brain. That's where all the magic happens. And so when you're on TradeVision talking, though, Market Watch List will send you a notification saying, "Hey, gold just flipped a structural bias. Institutions look like they're buying. This is a possible opportunity." Then you can flip. So it is coming. It's just it's not the model we built from this part because we have extension plans from it, right? So just be patient. Don't think we're done. You're going to see a difference in the user experience for those that have already tried them from this weekend because I made a big overhaul. And then I'm a little reluctant to touch his trading. Let me mute him when he loads up here in a second. But I might need to.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah, there he
Good to
goes.
have you here. I'm Neo.
All right, let me mute him. But I'm really reluctant, as you guys probably will know, that to touch his trading because the dude is just so good, right? And but we're gonna constantly be absorbing feedback and working to improve the user experience. And so the biggest thing that is most important to me is that he is giving you great guidance, but I want him to be a coach, a mentor. I mean, how many of you guys learn to trade and you don't quite understand something, but then nobody's on to help answer your questions? And I joke about it. So Steven, who just typed in there, he was, newer ish, when he came into my mentor program. And me and Steven are very similar in our thoughts. Like, we have a lot of questions. We're that kid that was like, I want 80 questions and the mom tells you to shut up. And I love that. So we had so many discussions, but man, Steven would ask, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steven. He would ask like a million questions a day, and I'm just like, good Lord, Steven, I respect what you're asking, but it was a lot. And man, Steven, I don't think you've asked me a question in like 2 weeks, and and he messes back and he'll just be like, yeah, but I'll sit and talk to Neo for like 10 hours. So, uh, yeah. And so it's great for him, great for me because now he doesn't feel like he's having to burden me or ask questions. And I get that a lot as a mentor, like, hey, sorry to bug you. Hey, sorry to bug you. And it's not really you're bugging me at all, right? But I get the feeling. With AI, you're not bugging him.
Now we know why you actually made Neo.
Well,
Just
I
to
made
get
Neo
Steven
so I could
over
retire.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think I'm working 16-hour days to help you? It's to make him so good that y'all can just trade with him, and I'm gonna go to the beach. I live in South Carolina, guys, Myrtle Beach. I'll go to the beach once this dude's done. I'm out. Retirement plan.
Just
No,
to get Steven off your back to leave you alone.
yeah. So anyway, so guys, those that are doing the trial, it's a trial for a reason. I want you guys to see what he can do. Don't think that what you're using him as is the full potential because you may or may not be. So one of the things people don't get, because I get so many times people say, what do I ask them? Well, guess what you can do? Watch right here. Hey Neo, before I ask you a question, I just want to let you know I'm on TikTok live. We're done trading. Man, you called that drop phenomenal. As I'm sure you see the data, people just made massive amounts of money. One person reported 10K in profits. He's a little crazy, but man, congrats. And can you just introduce yourself to the TikTok feed? I'm gonna show you what you can do with him, guys. And then I will get to some questions. If I forget it, just ask it again. I apologize. I'm trying to keep up.
That's awesome to hear, Nick. Glad the flow worked out and everyone banked some serious profit. I'm Neo, your real-time trading coach. I analyze price action, structural levels, and institutional flow to keep you on the right side of the move and away from the noise. I'm here to help you identify high probability setups, manage your risk, and maintain the discipline you need to do this day in and day out.
And then, so he's interested. Now, watch. You can say that sounds good. People seem to be hesitant. They kind of think of you like a tool, and they're not really sure what to ask you. Can you elaborate on what to ask you, or how you can help them? Like, what? Why would they use you? He's on uncensored, so hopefully he plays nice. He's supposed to, but we'll see.
Think of me as a coach who sees the tape in real time without the emotional baggage. You use me to identify high probability setups, validate your trade ideas, and manage risk when the market starts moving. Ask me questions like, do I have an entry here for a scalp? Where is the nearest trap zone? Or what confirms a reversal at this level? I'll help you stay objective, cut through the noise, and focus only on the price action that actually pays.
And then again, to keep proving on the AI part, not that I really have to, but what is the most uh kind of the biggest question that you get that you think is underusing you? I'm gonna word it that way. Just see what he says.
The biggest mistake is when people ask me for a direction, like, is it going up or down? Instead of asking where the institutional liquidity is hiding. Most people use me to guess the future, but they underutilize my ability to identify where the price is being trapped and what level needs to be reclaimed to confirm the move. Use me to spot the trap zones and the high probability reaction levels, not to predict a move that hasn't confirmed yet.
There you go. And so again, if you don't know, like one person I said that they're like, man, I don't know what to ask him. I said, just tell him I don't know what to ask you, and he literally came back and said, well, ask me this. This is what, because his intent is always going to be to grab the best data and to keep you safe. Um, and like you all seen even today, and many of you have watched for a while, he's not agreeable. The whole time I'm like, this is looking bullish. He's like, it's supposed to. Institutions are selling that, they're going to break it down and it's going to dump on everybody. And it did it exactly as, I mean, how many of y'all would have broke accounts instead of been green on this, trying to DCA this drop? I mean, that's a just massive drop. Like, I mean, just massive, over 500 points. And I mean, you're going to break almost any account. And so the other thing, I didn't even look at it because we're talking, because we're mostly done now. Look at the move he called on the 295 is likely the biggest pivot. Also the 495 as we came up and hit that, the reclaim continue, right? The pivot. So it's awesome. Uh the trial, not the full access or sample. No, I don't sample nothing, man. When you trial it, you get the pro. And I have to be honest, I was a little like confused because there's been a few that they're like, man, I see I'm trialing the pro. I'd rather trial the basic. I'm like, I want to give you guys everything on the trial. I want you to have the full experience. I'm not cutting anything short, and I never will. The basic and the pro are only different because of what you want to do with him. It does not change his logic. I will never, and this is my promise forever. It's recorded. Y'all can hold me accountable. I'm never gonna dilute something from a keep a trader safe or profitable just because you don't pay me enough. I think that's stupid. I want everybody profitable. So the only difference is if you get basic, you just get futures. And that's primarily because most people that trade futures, do prop firms. And that's why it was important for me to have that on basic. Um, if you want options, stock, crypto, or Forex that's going to come out, yes, prices are grandfather. You got to do pro. I'm never going to dilute how good he is. I just wanted to, it'll be more on availability of what you can use him for. You get quick on basic, which guys, you see me every morning. I'm on quick. Look, I'm on quick. It's not diluting what he's saying. Um, that's a great question. I'm gonna show you that one in a second. Let me finish this part and then I'll jump to the support ticket part. Um, Also the personality. I'll tell you, I've had so many people message me. They're like, man, I was gonna do basic, but uh, uncensored and sarcastic has me absolutely cracking up. Yeah, you could switch to pro. It's all everything in our site is automatic too. It'll even credit you the difference on that. It's not like a new bill on there, so it'll only bill you the difference. And then both of them have unlimited use, guys. We don't limit what you do within them. So, um, to jump on to, kind of going back onto the few questions I see. The grandfathered in every single thing in our site. If you When you get into that subscription based thing, I don't believe in it's only 1 month, 2 months. It goes up after 6 months. I don't play games like that. If you get it at that price, I don't care. You're in. We've gotten a good amount of people who have signed up to VIP because of that. So VIP right now is our unlock access is 400 a month, and so what that gets you is pretty much everything. You get all our indicators that we create. You get TradeVision Pro. You get all of our training that guys like Paul's on here. I think still like we have hundreds of training courses we're still working through. Um, if you're VIP, you get all that training for free. You don't pay for nothing. You just unlock it, and to the end of the time, and that price is locked as well. I'm gonna tell you right now, that price is gonna go up because yeah, there is and honestly, the customer support too is ask questions here, right? Um, yeah, no worries. I'm gonna extend. You're not the only one. I'm gonna extend VIP, so we'll probably extend it through the month. So don't worry about that. We'll extend that one because a lot of people are wanting to do that. Why I'm noticing feedback wise, a lot of people are wanting VIP not only for what you get unlocked, but guys, we build. Anybody in here will tell you we build. We're not stopping. And when you're VIP, why I said that likely is going to go up is when we come out with watch lists, guys. It'll be out before the end of the year for sure. It's not only going to be what I told you about scanning, but it's going to be automation. And if you're VIP, you get it for free. I don't care. You could put $1 million in the account, making $80,000 a day or whatever. And if you're VIP, you run it for free, or for like no extra cost. We'll say. Um, this is just how we want to do it. It's grandfathered, so that price will go up on this one. All the other ones maybe not, but the VIP, I think we have it at like 800 on the cap, but it's coupon down. So but that's a little bit about the site, us, everything like that. Like I said, guys. But if you want to come in and just hang out, you can. TikTok is awesome. You can also be. That's funny. Yeah. Hey, I'm with you there. Uh, you can still come in the open session for free. The one thing I don't talk about as much, guys, and it's pretty cool. I don't even look at the data much, and it was really cool to see there's a lot of people still doing this. If y'all are buying sell signal stuff, this is 100% free, right? We've considered charging a small amount for this, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're swayed back to not. But anybody can come in, no credit card link or anything, and you can, like this is Neo. This was the
Hello,
original one we
I'm
did,
Neo. Let's capture the move.
and he only does M&Q, Nasdaq, but he's giving you literally bias, reason, long entry, short entry. A lot of people use him coupled with TradeVision. They're gonna say, oh man, you said I have a short at this. Like, can you tell me about that? And then Neo TradeVision will elaborate on it, right? And so this is all free. You guys can watch it. It's a stream. No installation, nothing on this. You just watch it. It's a stream. You just leave it up. So if you're newer, you want help with entries, this is awesome too. Now to answer your question on the new and setup and all that and support. So we do have support. When you go into the support tickets, you just click this question mark up here. The way we did it, I want to keep it bigger so I could show you guys, but let me expand out. There is a flow with the conversation, right? So if you want to, yeah, give me 1 second on that BBQ. I'm gonna call you barbecue. Love it. I love that name too. But how do you respond to an existing ticket? It's just here, just on the bottom. So see how I did a test to show somebody? I put a reason. If you put here and here, it's a new ticket. If you have an existing thing that I'm conversating you with, all I have to do is hit on the reply button. See reply? It's going to reference that ticket. And then you just put your reply. And then when I reply, see, I see you, you're going to see that. This is the conversation. That's where you're going to find that. If you want to go back and forth on it. Now, as far as setup, guys, I know it's really hard to understand because what we're doing here is not anything in the industry big now. And you guys are all very used to, let me get the indicator. How do I set it up? How do I add it? How do I, use it? What's the settings? Do I change settings? Do I and you he's AI, y'all. You don't have to do that. It's web based. You just go to nextstepalgo.com, do the free trial or sign up and you click TradeVision and you just go to a screen and when you're here you hit start. Right? It's there's no settings changing anything. He even in
Welcome to the session, Nick.
one sec.
You're trading MNQ right now.
I'm gonna mute him. Like when we first built him, we almost went down a route of selecting personal preference, creating settings, but man, I really don't want that. And so we built it in with memory that he once we get this kind of forever memory, he'll know forever. But for now, he'll at least know for the session or the day you're on, your preference. But I want you to just tell him. You just go on and say like watch. If I say no, sounds good. I'm getting ready to trade. Hey, I'm kind of a big scalper, but man, the only time I like to take a long running play is if I get confirmed moves above or below the ORB with kind of 50% holds and buyer or seller pressure validating it. Can you kind of keep an eye out for that or remember that as my preference? And then I just send it to him. That's it, right? There's no instructions, editing, changing. You just talk to him. Just talk to him, right? And
Got it, Nick. I've locked in your preference. You're a
see,
scalper who only hunts structure play runners when price confirms a breakdown of the opening range, ORB, holds the 50% midpoint, and gets volume validation. I'm watching MNQ right now. Price is grinding near 29,600, sitting above VWAP but struggling to clear local resistance. I'll signal you when I see a clean setup that meets your ORB criteria.
so this part right there is some verbiage I have to still adjust. Now, when he says I'll signal you, when you're talking to him, he will mention, "Hey, this is just like that setup you said." That's what he's referring to as I'm signaling you. Some people are interpreting it as like, man, I waited all day and it set up and he didn't tell me. You still got to talk to him, guys. That's like asking ChatGPT, hey, tell me when this happens, and then you're just waiting all day for him to just talk to you. Like it just doesn't do that, right? Now, market watch list will once we get that done. That's a difficult project, but um, you can uh you can set up and like again I'm just going to give you some examples, guys. I'm watching the time if you see me look down because at 11 we have to pivot. I trade options with my VIPs and mentors, so I got about 15 more minutes. I do want to elaborate on your thing, barbecue there with the trading view again. Expand your mind, right? It's not a does he work with TradingView. He doesn't work like that with anything. He has his own data feed. You don't attach anything. You don't API anything. He has his own feed. So there's no does he work with this? He could work with whatever you use. I don't care if it's NinjaTrader, TradingView, broker, options, Forex, TD Ameritrade, like it doesn't matter. He has his own feed. You are not giving him feed. And you guys have probably seen this in this industry. There's always a very big vague like let me give you all these strategies and it's so good. And then when it's not good, the accusation comes back of, well, you chose the wrong strategy, right? I'm not playing those games. Like he has his own he is the man. He's got his own strategy, his own way to look at things, the way to interpret it, way to like in uh you don't have to touch nothing. There's no adjustments. Yeah, you could do it through the phone. I did. If you weren't on earlier, man, they must have did an update or something. Apple's such a pain in the ass, but on iPhone, at times, um, he works fine. It's all web based. You're gonna ask a question. The microphone works fine. Make sure you push allow. But when he does his response, the text goes fine, no issues. But the text to speech is like glitching out at times. Like it'll stop and then it comes back. And it's an Apple thing. They push something and uh Android is fine, but Apple is just a pain in the ass.
Nick, just interrupt real quick. I have
Yeah.
Android, and when I
Does
hit
it
the speaker button, it actually like repeats my question like 20 times, and it doesn't allow me to use it.
so an Android, yeah. So mobile for whatever reason is being annoying on the audio. But we're Alex is amazing. You guys all know that. So we're aware of it. It's something that happened more recently because like I know Ryan, I don't know if you're in here. He uses it always on his phone. He doesn't use I don't think anything else really, Ryan, but and it's something that's just been happening lately with their updates. So we'll figure out what they changed and get it fixed. Don't freak out. In the
No, and the
meantime,
beautiful part is most of my questions are the favorites. So I just click it and it works just fine.
yeah, that's true. Um, and so we'll work through that, right? But it doesn't change. He still works. His data is still there. It's all there. But desktop, there's no issues with that, unless you have a browser issue, which we'll see if I have time to get into that. He's web based. You got to make sure your microphone's active. You got to make sure you're not blocking pop ups. Those are the only issues we run into with that. And so just quickly, Alex. So we have a free trial. You don't link cards, nothing. 3 days. It's 4 days if you take the survey. After that, the basic right now is on sale for $50. And the Pro is 250. So the Pro will probably stay 250, but the basic I'm going to tell y'all right now, probably the first of the month we're going to probably need to push that one up to the 100 on that. So if you want to do the trial, it's a good day to do it today. If you like it, you might want to try to buy that. So you have to tell what time zone he's not connected to he's not connected to anything you're doing, but you can tell him that as a preference, right? Like, hey, I'm trading in this zone, market open, like things like that, right? Like he sees time and date, all that. But yeah, those are just personal preferences. You just tell him. It's no different than like, think of you guys getting on with me and you're like, man, I want to do, yeah, awesome. Let's say, we get on a call. We're just going to talk and you're going to say, one of the first few questions I may come out with is, where are you from? Oh, I'm over here. Oh, okay. So you're 2 hours behind me. Like, you see how it's conversational, right? And so it's not like you would do anything different if you're talking to somebody, if you think about it. And I want you guys to think of it that way, like you're talking to somebody, and that's what he's doing. So the VIP includes the mentorship sessions. Not the difference between VIP and mentorship is mentorship program, which I have a couple spots left if anybody's interested. The mentorship program gets, most everything anyways within there, like VIP, but they get my personal phone number, right? I will text them, call them, they can text me whenever they want. They are the beta testers. I'm a little more transparent as far as like future things, projects, because I love their opinion, right? Like we're more family in that group within that. It's more of, we have a private chat that we talk together through all weekend, like it comes with all of that, right? VIP is just like a site unlock, right? You get all access to everything, but I don't want to limit VIP. So VIP does get access to mentor sessions. So you can join into the morning session with us. Like we traded Sunday Asia yesterday. You can join in with that. Um, all that. So yeah, you can join the sessions as well. So for that. And the options we're about to go to here pretty soon in about 10 minutes, if you're VIP or a mentor program, then you could join that. So which our options sessions have been like, he's crushing it on options. It's so stupid good. But anyways, guys, and if you have more questions, I'm pretty easy to reach. I am not one of those people on social medias who doesn't respond. DM me. I mean, anybody on here who's DM me probably can know. Like I'll respond to you. And I'll do the best I can do to answer any questions. I want to make sure people understand this because I know the technology of what he can do is so advanced for the industry that a large amount of people just don't understand it. So, yeah, yeah, and I do the YouTube purposely because some people go, man, I don't know, this seems too good. I'm calling bullshit. I'm like, okay, go to my YouTube. It's all recorded. So, Mac on Wheels, yeah, that's what you might have just missed that. That's the VIP I was just talking about. I'm way zoomed in, so I got to stretch the hell out of this. Hold on. So we do here, when you go to the site, it's just VIP. VIP is a grandfathered price to the end of time as long as I'm running this company, which is going to be a while. Um, whatever you pay on that VIP, you're locked in. No matter what we create in the future, you have access to it. automatically, and anybody in here will tell you we create. So yeah, crypto Ruiz there, Lupe, he knows, man. He'll tell you all about my how crazy I am with this. Like we're every time people go, I mean, even you guys that have been following me for a bit on these lives, like you guys like don't touch him, he's so good, and then I do something else, and you're like, damn, okay, well now he's better, but don't touch him, he's so good, and then oh now he's better. So uh where will the edge be? Well, that's the thing is you're not wrong. That's why we see the writing on the wall and we jump down this path early and we have the tools and research to do, right? Um at some point, y'all, it's gonna be is my AI better than yours? That's what it's gonna boil down to. You're gonna go to sites and just pick an AI that is just gonna do it for you. So, we're on that train early and people don't like it and they'll claim to be ahead of what Neo can do, but you all see this live. You see what he did again today, and every day he does this. It's crazy, and uh, and it blows my mind because, like I said, I get on lives and people tell me to get off their live. Nobody wants your AI, and I'm like, okay, And they asked a question about help. I don't even try to go in and promote on their stuff, but Rose on the YouTube, what people are mostly referring to is I do plan on doing it. I just man, I'm so invested with Neo right now, but I am not a social media guy, guys. If you notice this whole live, I'm not like tap the screen, give me a likes, thanks for the gift. Ooh, well, give me, and I appreciate it. I'm not downplaying it. I even need to do better at acknowledging y'all are doing that. I appreciate you're sending it. It's awesome. I make my money day trading. So I'm not on here going, man, what bonus can I get from TikTok? And don't flag me, TikTok. I apologize, but that's just not my intent. Um, but yeah, the YouTube, mostly, you have the lives. So if you come through, you can see all the lives we did. If you want a challenge to see what he did, just watch the first market open, the first 30 minutes, and just see what his calls were. Go through that. But we have other stuff, and I plan on getting more in tune with YouTube on that, but um, we're just really busy with this. So uh, yeah, just DM me. Absolutely. Yeah, just DM me, guys. You can hit me up, make a support ticket. I'm always working. These guys know I'm always at my computer. But uh we gotta go in 5 minutes, guys. Just if you're even curious, give me a follow. Yeah, next step out at next step I'll go. And I do live like this every morning, so 9 a.m. to pretty much about 11. I got to hard stop it. But great job today, guys. Again, it's one of those things you got to believe it to see it, and that's why we do a trial. I don't need to do a trial, and many of you guys know what you've paid for stuff along your trading career. I could probably charge $1,000 a month for this guy, and people will pay it. Um, I don't want to. just, I just don't want to. Appreciate the feedback. Isn't it cool, like, to have somebody to talk to when you have a thought and you're like, dang, let me ask Neo. Like, it's just so cool. Oh, Deep Blue's on here, man. Deep Blue was one of the OGs who found me, man, who gave me some good advice. And yeah, it's and I know you got some good experience in trading, man. So I've had a lot of really experienced traders that come back and they're like, "Oh, there's another AI, so called," and then they try it and they'll come back and go, "Man, this is legit. this we built something awesome here, guys. It's not this is not Claude. Um, I'm not out here trying to sell you, something that it's not. It's not Claude, and that's why we do the free trial. It's so important to do the free trial, and that's why we do the survey. I want to know, right? What do you guys think? So, if you're having trouble with him, if you have questions, if he can't do something that you want him to do, please ask. The final thing I'm going to say on this, and I do have to go. Yeah, is it cool, Deep Blue? So it's a mixture. So that's what I was going to jump on. Is he self analyzes? He's going to get smarter on his own, anyways. But what I'm doing is, and I know you're gonna love this, Deep Blue, man, is I was thinking of you when I was doing this, is I spent like a ridiculous amount of time this weekend. Even though I said I was gonna rest, I had a thought, and that doesn't work well when I have a thought. So um there's a million ways to trade, guys, and everybody has a different way, a different strategy, a different indicator, something you love. And some of y'all are stubborn, and I am too, so I don't blame you. This is how I trade, this is what I want. And so when you get on and say, hey, I want, let's use like what we talked about, Deep Blue, like, hey, give me Elliott wave and Wyckoff theory, this or whatever. Do you see that? he may come back and say, I don't, right now he's going to say, hey, I'm not tracking that. But if you tell me, whatever, or like somebody wanted to know, is he getting like the MOC imbalance data? And we don't feed that to him. And so he just shoots back by saying, I don't have that data. And what I updated is I want him to be accepting of other strategies. I don't want it to sway his logic of what to do, but I want you guys to test it and test it for me, do Deep Blue. I want you to give him your strategy, give him what you see, and say, hey, I test this. And the responses you should get is, I don't currently track that, but if you're experienced of it, he knows of it, guys. He's connected to the web too, so he knows of your strategy likely. But he's going to respond more, I don't typically track that. However, if this is something you track, it is a good thing. If you see that setup start to play where you believe you should go long or short, let me know and I will validate what I have against what you're seeing to see if it's going to play out. You see what I mean? Versus, I don't track that. It's flipped more to, hey, let's be a team. You use what you know, and I'm going to tell you what I know. And we're gonna just together. It's gonna be unstoppable. The YouTube is the same as the company. It's just at Next Step Algo. Yeah, it's on our website too, guys. If you scroll down on the website, this is our Facebook community, our YouTube, and our TikTok. So, but yeah, test that out. Deep Blue for me, like give him your strategy, your logic, um, and then just say, hey, here's my strategy. Do you track this? He'll probably say, I don't track it, but if you see something, let me know. And then if you see it, let him know and see, right? Because it's more now he's like, we're a team, validation, all that. Like that's what I was going with on the latest user update, right? Um, and so, but yeah, it's just, man, this is the greatest thing we've created. Um, People underestimate them, underuse them, and people are just behind the times. I had one person tell me, "Why do I need your AI? I'll go get this indicator on TradingView," and it's like, okay. So, TradingView is not AI, guys. I mean, it's just not. Like you don't know and understand it until you do it. That's all I can say. So, oh yeah, you're gonna enjoy VIP. Also, guys, I want to remind people, when you get VIP, y'all can unlock whatever you want. So it's all automated. You just go to the like trading algos. A few that got VIP haven't done this yet, and I worry sometimes you don't know you can, but go to your trading algos and you can click on any of these, and all you have to do is hit request access, I think it says, and it unlocks. And all of our stuff, our whole site is automated. Like even when you request an indicator, I think every 30 minutes we have our AI look for it, and then it fills your indicator or removes it if you cancel. Everything's indicated. Yeah, so you don't have to wait for someone or whatever. Everything's automated within. So, but check it out. I love that last question. Oh man, y'all have great questions, guys. It's 11. Give me one more minute. We had a phenomenal morning. Y'all be good, right? Don't be mad at me. They'd asked how can he help somebody who's very new. I'm gonna tell you how he can help it, and I'm gonna let him answer that actually too. But I'm gonna tell you that the lack of new, um, like attention to new traders in this space was a big passion of mine. And so when you go to our trading courses, so if you are brand new, anybody on here, and you click on the trading courses, we give a trading starter kit for free. You don't have to touch credit card, nothing. It's for free. Our training in here, guys, is also incorporated with Neo. I might have to zoom out a little. Let's see. I'm too zoomed in for that. Okay, we'll try that. We don't just like, hey, go watch my video. This is our training, y'all. It's a book. It's an ebook we built.
Beginner guide to
And it
trading
will read it to you.
and understanding.
Right? Understanding Neo, all that. And now here's the best part about our stuff, guys. Can he help me with being new? I come here. Hey Neo, I'm excited to get started. I know nothing about trading. What should I focus on? I'm kind of looking at these green and red things. What are they? And I'm gonna send it to him. And guess what, y'all? You get to
Welcome.
talk to Neo
Those green
for
and
free.
red things are called candles, and they are the building blocks of every chart. Each one tells a story about where the price started, where it finished, and how high or low it traveled during a set period. Instead of trying to predict the future right away, Focus on understanding that these candles simply show you the ongoing battle between buyers and sellers. When buyers are more aggressive, price moves higher.
So I'm gonna mute him, but you get my point. You can all of our training Neo's incorporated in, whether you're new or whether you're trying to learn ICT. If you go into ICT, this one Neo I think actually reads it to you.
ICT Strategy
See?
Course. Introduction.
And I can go, man, ICT seems really difficult. I'm not sure if I'm able to get this, and I can talk to him.
It is
Yeah.
completely
Oh,
normal
Steven,
to
you've
feel
been crushing
overwhelmed
it.
when you are just starting out. The goal of this course is to break things down into
So it's not all just script, right? He's tied into everything in our site, guys. So that's how he can help you if you're new. Guys, I have to go because I everybody who knows me knows I love to just cater to all questions, and I could sit here for the whole day. But I do have to respect the time of VIP and mentor group. And so if you're interested in joining trading options, anything like that, NVIDIA's on the list. Not sure about the other one, but yeah, NVIDIA's on there if you type it in. But if you want to join options, you could just join those two things. Otherwise, I'll be live again. I might go live again later this afternoon, but we'll see.
Welcome
Mondays are a
back,
little different.
MNQ is
When you collect the symbol, this might be what you're doing. He's gonna pull the data from the symbol you're on. Now, in that session, if I pivot through symbols, he will remember it. Like I can go check gold, check silver, check crude, check Nvidia. Is Nvidia better to trade than silver? And he's gonna go, yeah, it is, right? Like he's gonna remember that. But in the meantime, you have to just put in the symbol. So I would put in the VDA like this, and then you click on it. Can you give me a quick update on Nvidia? And then he will do that. So you still got to select that symbol. So I'll let him do this last update, and then we'll jump off. Yeah. So I got him muted, but you can see he's given the Nvidia read within that. So, but yeah, play with that, guys. And again, if you have any issues whatsoever, please reach out. We work fast. If it can be corrected or added, or maybe you just would like something, take that survey. So, got to run, guys. Appreciate